Wow, y'all know the name, man. Y'all know me, baby. I said, what's good? To check. Hey, man. Y'all know the vibes going. Like, subscribe. I know I got another banger for y'all today, man. Now today, y'all, I'm about to give y'all an updated video on how I set up my wheel in the Assetto Corsa. You know what I'm saying, man? Add a little razzle dazzle in there for you guys, man, so y'all know exactly how you map like extra options as far as underglow. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Y'all want underglow. Y'all want the doors to fly out. You know what I'm saying? And you also want to have a nice, you know what I'm saying, nice little layout where you can get back to pits really quick. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Assetto Corsa servers, when you want to get back to pits really quick. I'm gonna show you guys how to set that up, and also I'm gonna give you guys a little, you know what I'm saying, insight on how I set up my wheel using the Logitech G29 here. Also in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I set up my wheel in the G Hub settings and also in the Assetto Corsa wheel settings as far as like the controls, you know what I'm saying, with patch and all that other good stuff, you know what I'm saying. So you guys want underglow and all that nice crazy things, man, y'all go ahead and listen up, man. I'm gonna give y'all a nice little razzle dazzle and how to set all that up, you know what I mean. So yeah, with all that being said, let's stop talking, let's get straight into this. You dig? We're going to start over here with the G Hub settings. Now honestly, for a lot of people, this is a disclaimer for the new updated G Hub. Now I've heard that this has been messing with a lot of people's settings or a lot of people's like wheels, and has been making them kind of not work to the potential that they used to. So if you are experiencing this, please go ahead and download LGS, which is the Logitech gaming software. You don't really have to mess with anything there, but in this video I'm going to show you guys how I set up my G Hub settings, and then a later video when I switch to LGS, if that's possible, if I do switch to LGS, then I'll show you guys how I set it up over there. But yeah, let's go ahead and G Hub here. I'm going to set up my wheel. You guys see we have full operating range, you know what I'm saying, 900, gotta have it, baby. Honestly, the sensitivity, keep it at 50. The centering spring strength, zero it out. Don't have the centering spring strength there unless you're doing like F1 racing or something like that. Then the centering spring strength can be usable to you, but as far as drifting goes, it's just full, like just the force feedback strength of how your wheel turns and everything with the actual sim, which Assetto Corsa is sim, you know what I'm saying, is a sim. So it feels a lot better when you don't have the centering spring strength on, and it flows a whole lot better and you don't hear a lot clicking and all that other good stuff, you know what I'm saying. So go ahead and zero that out. And my pedals here, we have those on 50 all the way down. Do not combine the pedals, okay? Pretty straightforward, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's all status quo, you feel me. But yeah, after all that's said and done, you go ahead and back out of that. Now you can go over here to Assetto Corsa. We're in Assetto Corsa. You go over here to the top, we're in CM, or content manager. Up here in the settings, Assetto Corsa, you see the controls. Now we got the steering right here, we got that all the way up, baby, okay, 900 degrees, okay. Only set this range to the highest that your wheel can go, and since mine is a 900 degree wheel, you set that to 900 degrees. If it's a 1080, which is the G923, I believe is a 1080, you can set that to 1080, okay. But going down below, of course, you see the throttle. The throttle is already set right there, so you're going to push that in, make sure that bad boy is working. Now for me, the throttle, I've had this system for a little minute, okay. So after a certain time, you know, you have to go in there and clean out the pedals and everything like that. So if you are experiencing some kind of like, it still says it's a little activated, kind of like that, if it rests right there, you want to make that dead zone a little bit higher so that is not registered, okay. So that way, you know, it's a nice smooth throttle, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, go ahead and invert that. Over here down in the brakes, we have that 60 degree, or no, I'm sorry, we have that 60% dead zone at the top. So when I push the brakes, we don't have to push it too hard for it to be fully activated. But if I want to lift that all the way up, I can. But 65 is a pretty good number for me, so we're gonna leave it around there. And you make sure to invert that too. Clutch, obviously same thing. Now a lot of people don't know, but I have a video up before that shows how I combined my handbrake to my clutch, being that the handbrake that I had broke on stream. Now I am in the process of getting it fixed right now, but with this setup that I have going on right now, there is a video that shows you guys how I do that. But the clutch right here, of course, you guys see it's combined with the handbrake. The handbrake is the top 5% of my clutch, and then the rest of it is, you know what I'm saying, it's fully activated clutch. So if I push it all the way down to 95 or above percent, the handbrake activates. Now the clutch, you know what I'm saying, it's just fully activated. It fully functional all the way to the top. But for people who didn't know, for people who are seeing this before, in the previous videos where my handbrake was in commission, we did, when you pull the handbrake, that that is actually combined to this right here. But unfortunately, can't do it right now. So that's how you set it up over here in the axis settings. Now if you're going to go over here to the buttons, now over here in buttons, you guys can see my right pedal and my right paddle and my left paddle are, you know, they're binded up for when I want to do some cutting up, you know what I'm saying? So we have to have the paddle shifters on that, but there also is the H shifter that is down here too, and you guys just go ahead and bind those up with your, you know what I'm saying, 1 through 6, and then of course your reverse gear. But with that, you also want to click that out, and you also want to hit the combine with keyboard. Now combining with keyboard, you can also do this as far as like if you want to change anything and, you know, just mess with anything on the keyboard settings over here. I don't really have too many things binded to my keyboard, but there are a couple things. Okay, so you really don't need it, but if you have it, you know what I'm saying, it's really not that big of a deal. Now if you want to keep going down, now over here the headlights, these are important right here. The headlights is my plus button on my on my wheel. The horn is the big old inner sign, of course. You gotta get the horn beep beep, you know what I'm saying? Glance left is the L3, glance right is the R3, and then my glance back is circle, and then my change camera is triangle. Now if you want to change those how any way you want to, that's fine, okay? As long as you really have those 6 things really binded to the wheel, those are the most important things. And then the H shifter, make sure you hit use H shifter up here, and then of course the key combined with keyboard, and you have the paddle shifters up here. Now moving over to system. Here in system, this is kind of important. Actually no, this is very important for my people who join online servers. Now right here you see under race, it says teleport to pits. Please activate that to a button that is very easy for you to get to. Mine is the PlayStation button that is at the bottom here because it's super easy to press. And then also my setup in pits is the button that's right above that button. So either way, if I just glance my finger down that way, I'm going back to the pits no matter which one it is, okay? But you can have the setup or the PlayStation button or whatever your wheel has, you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and bind that up to somewhere where it's easy to get to. It could be on your keyboard or whatever you want, okay? But here, that is what it's really important to definitely bind up. Now you can move over to the patch settings up here. Now over here in patch, let's go ahead and move that down just a little bit so you guys can see that just a little bit better. Now over here in the patch settings, we have the left turn signal, right turn signal, and all that. Now if you want those binded up, you can do that. Now I do because I just like to drive like that sometimes. It's kind of fun. My hazards is the square button. Now the extra options, this is where you have the underglow. This is where you have high beams, low beams, any extra animations that any extra animations that the mod creator puts on the car will be activated with these buttons. Now I binded these to buttons that I really would not use too much or buttons that were free. On my wheel, I have it set as the L2, the R2, the negative, and then also the share button that is right above my teleport to pits. Now you have to be careful when you press that because you don't want to teleport back to pits, because then everything goes back and then you have to reset, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are the biggest things that I set up in this actually in these settings. Actually, that is the only thing that I really set up in these settings. Everything else you can kind of keep status quo. Now if you want to go in there and change it all up, that's completely up to you, okay? Now also we can go over here to our force feedback, and then force feedback, baby, this I get a lot of criticism for sometimes. Now if you want to use these numbers, that is completely up to you. But if you do not and you want to go a little bit weaker, just gradually get up to the point where you want the wheel to have a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be fighting the wheel to turn. You want the wheel to kind of drive itself, you know what I'm saying? You want to feel that force just kind of moving your wheel to wherever you have. You want to have that grip feel, okay? You don't want it to be loose, and you don't want it to have a gyro effect like this, okay? So my gain is actually at 120%. Now, a lot of people say I'm gonna burn out the motors, blah 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 blah. Look, this is where I'm comfortable at because it's not too strong, but it doesn't have that oscillating effect, okay? It doesn't have that gyro effect. So I put it at gain is at 120%. My filter is at 10%, okay? Now going down to the effects, you want to turn all these down. This is really for drifting mostly, but I grip race like this too, to be honest with you. I just turn my in-game force feedback in-game force feedback controller a higher percentage or a higher rate when I'm actually grip drifting versus when I'm when I'm grip racing versus when I'm actually drifting. But going down, you guys can see everything else with the miscellaneous, all that. You want those checked off. Going down, of course, you guys can see low speed, threshold, you know what I'm saying, all that. Left that at that. Honestly, this is pretty status quo. I didn't really change these settings at all when I first got in here, but they are little tweaks, so you guys can go ahead and copy these values if you want to. Experimental, don't worry about it when you come to these wheels. Now, experimental is more for your Fanatec users, more for your people who have DDs and some really good belt driven wheels, okay, higher end wheels. But if you guys want to experience with this, that I'm saying experiment with that, that's up to you, you feel me? But yeah, that's how I set it up for my controls. Now when I go in game, which let's go ahead, we'll go ahead in game. All right, squad, now in game here, we're gonna load up the, let's go ahead and load that up. Ooh, like that picture too, that looks really good. Okay, over here in our all apps, okay, you're gonna go over here to the right. It's gonna be behind my wheel cam, but it's at the top in all apps. You drop that down. Now the force feedback controller, that's right here, this is the icon. Once you click on that, it's gonna show up right here in your taskbar, which looks like this right here. In game from my drifting, I have it at about 150 to 180, 190 range when I'm drifting. Now when I'm racing, I bring that up to about, I'd say honestly about 211 to, I'm sorry, I say about 210 to about 230, 240. Okay, now that depends on how the car feels, but the good thing about this force feedback controller is when you hit the save, it actually just saves to this car. It doesn't override every single vehicle. Okay, so this is a very good tool to use too, especially when you're setting up force feedback with your cars and everything. But yeah, thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all. If y'all made it to the end of the video, y'all are the real MVPs. Thank y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell your friends, man. Go ahead and share this, man. Thank y'all so much, because we are getting bigger, man. We're getting bigger. We already smashed the 3K, man. We're on our way to 5K. That's the goal. Can we get there, man? Y'all let me know, bro, honestly. But I thank y'all so much, man. Sorry, hold on. But yeah, if y'all made it to the end of the video, man, thank y'all so much. Y'all are the real MVPs. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you know when we go live, and go ahead and copy these settings, man, because I know y'all want a good experience with driving, bro. Come on, man. I'm giving y'all the sauce right here. You feel me, man? Who else is doing this for y'all? But yeah, I love y'all so much, man. Y'all stay safe, stay sideways, and man, I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. You feel me? Peace.